Hello there, buddies. Smithers here to bring you 10 tips that you can incorporate inside your next HLL stream. For those of you watching that are not streamers, if you have any suggestions, feel free to drop a comment below, and I'm sure all the streamers would very much appreciate it. Let's go ahead and dive in. First tip I have for you is to not worry about your live view count. Yes, I know it can be rough. You look over, you see 5, 10, 15 people watching you, and you go, what am I doing this for, Smitty? What am I doing this for? Don't worry about that. I get plenty of streams where I only have 15, 20 people watching me. It can be rough sometimes. It can be, but you should not worry about that. The big value for HLL is in what you do after the stream, the clips, the highlights. Share this with your friends, share that with your friends. You got to think about that. 95% of your views from your live streams will come afterwards. We're not in this market where we're going to have 20,000 people, 30,000 people watching us. You can't compare yourself to those other Twitch streamers out there that do all those high volume streams. This is not the kind of market for that. It just isn't. So don't worry about it. Move on. Keep your head held up high and always try to remain positive during the course of the match, or else people will be able to tell if you're demoralized on the opposite end and you don't want to really stream this much anymore. Number 2. Watch your streams. Listen to it on playback while you're walking around, while you're brushing your teeth, doing whatever you're doing. Just listen to it and see what maybe you could have done better. I know it can be uncomfortable to start. It was for me. I've done audiobooks. Listening to myself for hours on end was really tough at first. It really was. It made me uncomfortable, and I was like, oh, man, I sound like that sometimes. But you got to get used to doing that. It's one of the key ways you're going to be able to improve. And just try to watch out for words that you say over and over and over again. For example, one of the things that I used to say when I first started out streaming is that enemy went down. Oh, he went down. He shot him and he went down. That tank went down. I used to say those phrases a lot. It got really, really repetitive. Now, some people may not notice, but others will. And you want to be able to mix up your word usage while you're streaming. I have an iPad in front of me the entire time just to make sure I can, I want to use that word, or I want to use this phrase over there. Oh, that's a cool catchphrase I thought of. I want to try that out, see how people respond to it, see if it works in the feel for the game. Those are the kind of things that you just got to get used to. And the only way, or one of the only ways you're going to be able to do that is by listening to yourself to figure out those different little ways you can help improve. Okay? Number 3, when you're working the camera during the game, try to keep in mind what you're going to do after the game with the shot you're capturing. It can be very tough when you first start doing it because you're trying to get the shot and you're not thinking of what you're doing later. You're just trying to focus on your camera work. I always try to keep in mind, like, okay, what do I want to do with the shot after the match? What do I want to do after the shot after the match? And you can really get some good angles if you keep that in mind over the course of the game. Now, let's go ahead and watch a section from this match this past weekend between KRC and SAS, and you'll notice how I do the camera work here, and we'll talk about it.
This has to take advantage of this. Wow, they got Iron Corolla in the trenches, maybe going to put down a proxy satchel. Iron Corolla. What are you thinking, buddy? What are you thinking? You got a satchel on you? He's going to reload real quick. Iron Corolla's thinking about it. He's debating it. He's going to put it down. Iron Corolla. No, he puts it down. Okay, I think we got about a minute satchel. I think it's a minute one. Oh my gosh, we could see a Big Bubba do it. Artillery goes off. The trenches are clear, but Iron Corolla has the magical satchel, baby. He may have the satchel to end all satchels. As SAS begins to pour inside, let's go see what this satchel looks like. Oh man, we're about 15 seconds away, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, the raspberries are poured on in. Oh, it's like a bee trap. Oh my gosh. Oh, the satchel goes, what am I doing? And the trenches are clear. I don't believe it.
Okay, so what did I do with that clip? Well, I zoomed in to get his actual name is I Rock and Rolla, not Iron Corolla. But what did I do with the camera there? I zoomed in to see what he was doing, but then I remembered, well, I mean, it's just natural to me now, but you got to remember that, hey, I mean, you're not going to be able to get much action if you zoom in real close in the trenches and then satchel explodes. Nothing's going to happen there. You zoom in to get that one-on-one player feel for things, see what he's doing, and then quickly you got to pan out because you got 30 seconds, remember, before satchel explodes. So you zoom out and then you see what's going on. Okay, now this is where the audience can see, wow, this satchel could have a big impact. There are a lot of raspberries coming on in here into the trenches. And so the audience can start, you're building that suspense for the audience, wondering, Mamma mia, how many raspberries is he going to get here? Okay, let's go back here a little bit. And so you see how I have the camera pan back out, and I got a good view for the audience so they can really grasp how impactful this is going to be. And plus, it's going to make a really cool highlight after the match is over, okay?
Oh my gosh. Oh, no.
Now, I'll cover this later, but I also bring emotion into the situation as well, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Number 4, if you're ever getting demoralized by the live viewer count, just try, and put yourself in a situation where you are being watched by thousands of people. Now, I know that sounds difficult, but if you go ahead and look up highlights on YouTube from the World Cup, from the NFL, Sunday Night Football is a really good example here in the U.S. for those of you familiar. The pump up or the intro song for that is a good one to really get your blood flowing. Don't know what it's like for World Cup. There are plenty of good World Cup highlights that I like to watch. So I was in Germany in 2010, and I remember being in Germany when they were doing really well in the World Cup and being surrounded by Germans, drinking beer in Hamburg and having a great time and just celebrating everything. And so I like to put on 2010 World Cup highlights and listen to the song Wave Your Flag. And wait, was that 2014, 2010? I think it was 2010. But Waving Flag, I think that was 2010. But I like to put that on, and it gets me really in the mood for casting a game. If I'm feeling a little bit tired, if it's been a rough day, if I'm my sixth stream for the day, I put that stuff on to give me a nice little boost. So that's what you could do too. And if NASCAR is your thing, whatever it may be, just find a sport, find a good highlights compilation with some background music lately to get you in the zone to get ready to broadcast the game. Number 5, try to cast for the same teams at least for 3, 4, and more games. You want to be able to build that repertoire with the team in order to understand the players and to know what they're used to doing and build that history. Because if live viewers if they like one thing, it's callbacks to previous matches that they've seen. And of course, if the players are watching it on playback, they go, oh yeah, that's right, I did do that in the previous game. So that's one little tip for you, is just try to build a certain a rhythm with the team. So then plus they'll want to have you back for future streams as well, because you're getting to know them. They can depend on you. You know what time their games usually are. And you're kind of like their dedicated streamer in a way. Number 6, check your connections beforehand. I always do a reset or a restart on my computer to make sure everything is fresh if I have a long number of streams in order coming. If my computer's been running all day especially, I'll do a restart. Same thing goes for your console. If you're streaming on console, just do a restart on your console just to make sure everything is good. There's just to eliminate potential issues. Go through your updates, install your Windows updates, install your PS5 updates, your Xbox updates, your graphics drivers, all those little things that can have an impact on the performance of your stream. Because remember, you're pretty much a solo crew, and so you want to make sure everything is as updated as possible to reduce or minimize the risk for those technical issues during the match. Number 7. Check with your team to see what they want the delay is. Try to get as little as possible. I try to always, I always ask, can I get 10-minute delay? Is that okay with you guys? 5 minutes? Some teams will even let you do it live. I've only had luck enough to do a couple of live streams, but try to get as minimal as possible just so you can reduce the lag between the live chat and your stream. And you can always keep the stream up on your phone if you like as well. And so you can answer the questions in your stream or on your phone instead of having to Alt-Tab and go over to OBS and type in there, because obviously the sound then, if you're doing it on PC, doesn't fully register. Number 8, check what squad you're going to be joining. Every single team, unless it's a 30 versus 30 or 36 versus 36, where you may have the luxury of starting your own squad. Always check to see should I join this? Who should I join, the RD or whatever? And just to make sure that is clarified beforehand, because the last thing you want to do as a streamer is join the wrong squad and you end up messing up their opening. Don't want that to happen. Number 9, grab yourself plenty of drinks. I always make sure to have a 64-ounce bottle filled, ready to go, and I have a smaller glass that I pour it into over the course of the match. That way you're not stopping and running away to get a drink or something, and just make sure you always have something ready to go, because you never know when something may get stuck in your pipe, and you got to drink a little bit extra to make sure you can keep talking over the course of the stream. Number 10, always try to bring in the emotion. This is what I want you to really ingrain in your mind. These players that are playing the game, they are so focused on what they're doing that they oftentimes don't express that much emotion in the match because they get a job done and they move on. I Rock and Rolla, or Iron Corolla, whatever you want to call him, he was probably really focused on just, okay, I got to get this satchel down. Okay, I got killed. I'm going to head back to the redeploy screen. Great. Maybe he didn't even check to see how many satchel wipes he got. Maybe he went on to his next task, dropped supplies for another squad lead or something like that. So you have to imagine that in his shoes, he's going to watch this later on, and he's going to want somebody else to express the emotion that he would have expressed if he had a chance to. Let's go ahead and watch this clip one more time, and you'll understand what I'm saying. And now focus on not my camera movement like you did before, but the emotion I'm bringing out.
What are you thinking, buddy? What are you thinking? You got a satchel on you? He's going to reload real quick. Iron Corolla's thinking about it. He's debating it. He's going to put it down. Iron Corolla. No, he puts it down. Okay, I think we got about a minute satchel. I think it's a minute one. Oh my gosh, we could see a big Bubba do it. Artillery goes off. The trenches are clear, but Iron Corolla has the magical satchel, baby. He may have the satchel to end all satchels. As SAS begins to pour inside, let's go see what this satchel looks like. Oh man, we're about 15 seconds away, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, the raspberries are poured on in. Oh, it's like a bee trap. Oh my gosh. Oh, the satchel goes, what am I doing? And the trenches are clear. I don't believe it.
Now, imagine if you are watching this and the streamer just said, oh, and a satchel just looks like got some people in the trenches. Okay, let's go ahead and move on and see what else is going on. Now, imagine if you were watching that, like how, no, that was a crazy moment. It saved the cap. It's crazy. So when these players watch it on playback, they go, oh my gosh, that was wild. I can't believe it. Nice satchel, dude. You saved the point for being captured. That's so cool. I mean, look, it cleared the point. Okay, so you have to really try to understand, like, what is the impact if this play goes off? Is it a satchel on a tank? Is it the satchel in the trenches? Is it a big artillery round? Is it a person that's on defense and they go on a 6, 7, 8 frag streak to save it? And the suspense and the emotion that's going through that player at that time is super focused on just making those shots. So there is a total nothing going on in probably their face when they're playing. They're just focused on that next line of sight to get that next raspberry or blueberry. But in this case, you're the streamer. I'm trying to help the audience convey to the audience why this is important, because they're capping it. There was a whole bunch of them, and it's going to eliminate all that pressure for KRC here, who's on the axis. Okay, so just try to keep the emotion in line and what's going on there. There was a lot of little subtle things that I did in order to express my surprise. Like, oh my gosh, I did not realize there was that many coming in. And then the excitement after how many it was able to take out. The sort of confusion as far as I was wondering what I Rock and Rolla was thinking in those trenches in that moment where he's like, oh my gosh, I'm being surrounded. What do I do? Because in those moments, sometimes players panic and they're not. I've been in that moment where I wasn't able to think clearly. So all those little things you got to keep in mind when you're capturing a big moment like that. Now, try not to stick, once again, go back to the camera movement, but try not to stick too low in the trenches for too long. Try to make sure you zoom in, zoom out, and really get the feel for what's going on and why it's important. And now with Update 18, it's a lot easier because we're able to see both sides of the map, and so we can watch all the little raspberries and blueberries move everywhere by tanks and all that kind of stuff. But I'll make another video as well. But just let me know if you have any questions down below. What other topics you would like me to cover? I just wanted to do a quick 10-step or 10-tip video to help other streamers out there as the demand for Helios streamers is never ending right now. There's plenty of competitive games being casted, and I feel like I just needed to do something for everybody else out there to make sure that we all keep improving and trying to get better. All right, buddies, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.